There's no one that can replace your dad.
I don't think you should leave the stepmom out and say, do you know what, she's got nothing to do with it.
This stigma about black men not being there for their children is a thing of the past, especially with the black men that I'm around. I think we're all there for our children.
I am a birth mum to 3 daughters and a stepmom to 2 boys. I know my husband's there. Hi.
Yeah, keep up the good work, babes.
Why do some dads not care to introduce birth mum and stepmom for the first time?
Ooh, yeah.
It's a big question.
I feel like she's asking me that question, you know?
It's difficult. I just want you to focus solely on my child's relationship with the stepmom.
I took a different approach, so I went straight in there. So
some dads just want to keep it completely separate because they feel that that's the best way to have control of a potentially volatile situation.
It's not potentially, it is.
Or volatile situations.
Should stepmoms have any say when it comes to parental decisions with the child?
No, unless the mother is deceased or just not around. But with saying that, I would always want my partner to give her advice on the situation.
yeah, I agree with that. I don't think the stepmom has a say, but she can still have an input, if that makes sense, in the sense that she can advise.
I think so. In being a stepmom, you've taken on the responsibility to play that motherly role. But obviously the weighting is different. It's our child.
Especially when it comes to house rules, especially if they've got additional kids.
How do you feel about a stepdad parenting your child / living with your child?
I signed off on it the day I left.
My initial reaction was,
No way.
to forget everything I just said about the stepmom and then totally disregard it and then say never, I wouldn't have it. It was very, 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 very difficult for me. I'll be real, I lost myself for a bit because I wanted to fight him. I was calling him every name under the sun. I remember with my daughter that he was a Man United supporter and everyone knows I'm an Arsenal supporter. So he was talking about getting her a Man United kit. And I was thinking, whoa, that even though it sounds so little, but for me, dad buys you your first kit, and then not only that, you support the team that your dad supports. You can't, do you know what I mean? I had to convey that kind of information over to my child's mother and put my ego and pride aside. I think that's what it is with a lot of men. We have a lot of pride, a lot of ego. As long as he's doing right by my child's mother and by my child, I shouldn't really have any complaints.
That's grown, man. That's grown.
It's probably not the best feeling.
The birth mum knows her child. You need to trust her. You know, trust her that she's gonna bring somebody who's gonna be good for the child.
In saying that though, I don't know, I mean, what you said is ideal, but you know what, that's none of my business.
I was gonna say that. So I'm the stepdad.
Yeah.
I can still see how people react to me.
Okay.
There's a slight, oh. So it's interesting to see the other side.
I would say the same. I've never sat down and had a conversation with a stepfather. It gave me some confidence that actually there are good stepfathers out there.
Appreciate it.
There's no one that can replace your dad.
Yeah.
I think guys are more secure in that, in a sense that if there's a new guy there, he can never like supersede me. He won't ever supersede me.
What do you think your role is when building up a relationship between the stepmom and the child, especially if the child is not taken to her very well?
It's a difficult one because one, you want it to happen organically, and you don't want to force it.
In that situation, I think it's a child that you need to speak to.
Okay.
And it's letting the child know what the circumstances they're in. This is life.
That's heartbreaking right there. I think it's very important that being the adult, the stepmom's got to stick with it. Eventually, they will grow and bond with you.
You can't force anything in that situation.
What do you think about paying child maintenance?
I agree with paying child maintenance. Both parties need to come together, sit down, decide on how much the child needs. What I don't agree with, however, is taking it to external authorities in order to, get a bigger amount, especially if the amount that the parent is already given to you, the non-residing parent is given to you, is sufficient. I've seen it have an impact on fathers' mental health. And it becomes a problem. When it gets to that, I think you have to be careful.
I think there are certain individuals that need external authorities.
Yeah. There are some guys that take advantage. That's not fair to the child.
If you're not paying child support, you're doing something wrong as a father.
As soon as you step away from that old relationship, it becomes about money. Like the money question comes up first before your child's welfare.
How would you handle conflict between the birth mum and the stepmom?
There's no rights and wrongs for a man to deal with it. The only way I can say is a wrong if a man decides to just stay out of it, because he's the reason why it's happened.
I think it's hardest when both sides actually have a point. There isn't a point in the day when you do not feel like that middleman.
Bye guys, thank you.
Yes, we survived.